Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday's request day, and I am so glad we have got today's map. It's one of those maps that I would have had to have done in time anyway, so thanks for getting it onto the request list. Today is going to be a good one, especially if you are a vanilla player looking for a 100% vanilla map. That's what we've got today. Now, truth be told, we are using a custom theme, and the theme is made by the same creator of the map, so it's proprietary theme. Yeah, it kind of works together, but the map will still look pretty damn fine in vanilla tropical, which is what the base should be. Nothing wrong with today's map. One minor grumble, very minor grumble. You'll be fine. Let's roll with it, shall we? Let's also roll with BonBonBingo. Link is in the description to grab your BonBonBingo card and check off the memes as you're going along. And if you like checking things off, then there's something you can check off your daily reminder list. That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Garden Rivers Remastered by Sandite Spartan 117. Yes, Sandite is back. How's it Spartan? It's back. Anyway, they're back. And there's your start square. There you have remastered a whole bunch of these maps now, and most of them very well indeed. I think that's fair. Most of them, yeah. Terrain heights, lots of buildable space alongside the river, which is what you would expect. And then resources, centered in 25 tiles, a few outside if you want to grab those as well. Certainly much better than the original as well. If you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have all of the little fishies as well, so you should be happy with that. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLCs required today. Surprising, I know, but we'll talk about that in a moment as well. Nicely written description, nice and condensed and pretty much to the point. You have got a little nod further down here, there we go, where they say, yes, it does look like it was rushed. It does. We'll be using the Tropico theme made by Sandite Spartan, which is another way of saying yours truly, and the Relight Neutral LUT. The Relight settings on the screen there at the bottom, I haven't gone with them. They were just a little bit too bright and a little bit too poppy for YouTube. So I've gone with my standard settings. Okay, so if you're watching this Sandite and you go, this isn't poppy enough, that's the reason. Only for that reason. Okay, down to ground level. Let's talk very briefly about base game maps and vanilla maps, shall we? Okay, now, rushed maps I can kind of get my head around. With the base game, you spent 2, 3, 4 years making a beautiful new city builder game, which Cities Skylines was at the time. And then somebody says, right, we're going to need some stuff to go with it, some assets, and oh, we could do with some maps. Hey, Joe in the office, could you make some maps? And Joe makes the first one. They go, yeah, we need another 11, mate. Or another 15, actually. It's 4 per biome. We need another 15. So I can imagine how, maybe right at the very end, afterthought, pushing out a few maps, maybe some of the early ones, plus you didn't know how successful the game was going to be. There's no excuse for this original map being poor. This was a DLC map. Now, we know the game's a success. We know we're going to be selling a lot of these DLCs. We know it's going to pay for itself. Yes, there's plenty of argument. Why don't they go to one of the top map makers in the community? Maybe they will in the future with Cities Skylines 2. I'd be stunned if they didn't approach one of the big names or even one of the middle-sized names. It doesn't even have to be one of the big names. Just go to somebody with experience in map making and say, hey, could you do this? We'll pay you $4 or something like that. And yeah, most people just jump on it. Get your maps used in the base game. The DLC, well, can I tell you? This map really did look like it was rushed. And I don't feel that there should really have been any rush. That said, when you've got somebody like Sandite Spartan coming along doing a remaster, okay, yes, be it a few years later, but hey, he's got other jobs. I assume it's a he. Spartan sounds like a guy. Sandite spot. And it's got to be a guy, huh? A real man. I literally don't know. Not that it matters. I don't give a monkey's either way. Sorry, I just made an assumption on your gender and I should be shot for it. I probably will be. I'm really rubbish at that. I'm old school. Okay, I'm doing my best to get my head around. The language is changing all the time. Language. Anyway, sorry. Let's talk about intersections for a brief moment. This one, which will loop around and into the start square area like that. That's going to handle a bit of traffic off of your highway for you to start building. And the other end, when we get to the next intersection, that's going to be the nearest one to start square. But you'll get traffic peeling off of that to get down to your start square build area. And it'll take a little bit of weighted traffic off of this part of the highway. Next intersection over here. Again, really very nice. Just very slickly done. Now, the roundabout off of one side. Most of the buildable space is to the top side of that, not with this little off ramp here. Nicely decorated roundabout. But yes, most of the build space is on the other side of the highway from this mini castle. Ooh, it's a mini castle. This is very nice. Quick note to the way that the trees have been done out the foliage here, the vegetation. I really like that, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of it, because that is aesthetically very pleasing in a vanilla map. I think, considering we have got the ugliest vanilla tree there, that really works. So I expect to see a lot more creators stealing that idea, especially now it's being featured on the show. And I know there are a few map makers watching this, so I'm pretty sure you might be one of them. Maybe. Anyway, let's follow this road off to the horizon. There was rail running alongside the road for the most of this, and there is another highway and rail connection coming in from the edge of the map, which we'll follow in a moment, just to show you some rails separately, just for that reason only, which is going to be a 3, a 2, a 1. Here we go. There you go. Highway on the other side of this little side river here, and the rail coming. It's good standard. It's certainly perfectly acceptable standard. I can't grumble about this at all. It's fine. It's nothing really to talk about. So let's talk more about me being from the old ages. Just the language changes so quickly. There are terms that I've grown up with that just ordinary terms, not non-offensively used terms, and I still use them now, apart from I have to think 3 times before I use them, because I know somebody's going to take an offence. And yet these were just terms. Yes, language moves on, we've all got to grow up and move on, but it's harder as you get older to perfect your language. Let's move on with this, shall we?
Do you have thousands of mods and assets and find controlling them burdensome? Did you know that the workshop has a way of helping to control your subscription? Find out more with BonBonB's collections tutorial.
Yeah, more people need to watch that tutorial without doubt. Anyway, shipping routes. We have one shipping route. It looks like it's going to go across the entire map, but it doesn't. As you'll see when we get to the other side of the map, there's just like a little waterfall rapids kind of effect going on. And the shipping route falls short of it. And the bridge, right there. That makes perfect sense to me. Water flow, we have good strong water flow. True realists are going to question what happens in a few moments' time, where the river is going to kind of split in a way that doesn't make a huge amount of sense to realists. Right here, the water goes straight on and left as well. I cut away a little bit soon there, sorry about that. Let's have a quick look at certain parts of the map. I like this. The Essential Lighthouse, isn't she lovely? With a dirt track running down off of it into the playable area. And I like that. It just kind of like opens up this part of the map visually. Don't think it really adds much, but it certainly adds a little something, just a little point of interest. Lots of sandy areas along here that maybe you want to build on, maybe you want to reclaim, maybe you want to unpaint with sand. These are options there that may add just a little bit of interest again, a little bit of playability interest into the map. Now let's jump around and have a look at a few things. Like, first of all, the quarry. I think certainly with the cliff texture we've got going on here, that quarry looks very neat indeed. We have a couple of secondary rivers. This one actually runs off the edge of the map rather than joining up with the main river, and it's quite pleasing. It's quite I don't think it's the most exciting thing in the world, but it doesn't need to be. It's just a little something that adds a little bit of interest again. If you're building just a vanilla style build, you want things like that to help break things up and direct your city build. Ooh, it's a castle. We got the cemetery tucked over here, and a fairly nice plain vanilla castle. They've managed to avoid using the main keep asset, and we just had a bunch of towers pushed in together, and they all look very neat as well. As castles go, I think that's a winner. And so credit, because credit where it's due. Let's come over here first of all. We have go back to that in a moment. We have this rocky looking river, and this is like a little bit silly and a little bit fantastical, and I kind of like it because it makes the map still feel like it's a vanilla map. So actually, I think that was a good shout. Now over here, shall we? Yes, that's more like it. Now, trees. I did say I was got one minor grumble, and it's actually with not so much the tree painting, but the mix of trees. We've got 100% vanilla, so we can't use any custom trees. And it kind of looks okay, but I feel that these big trees, these redwood trees, are a little bit too big for some of the mountains. And it's very difficult to actually do any sort of like tapering, any blending, any fading. So what I would do, and let's do it. Let's open up the forest brush. And using the Corsican pine, which I pre-selected, and this is just very, very fast, crazy tree painting. Just doing some of these. It's the same color, the same tone as the redwoods. So just something like that just adds a little bit of a fade along the edge, so that it just tapers away, blends away. And I think with a lot more time and effort than I've had to just do here, I think that could add a little bit to the map, just along the edges. And again, I haven't done a good job there, so don't judge me on it. But that sort of idea, I think, is something that on this map could have added a little something. Down here behind this bushy knoll, because it's a bushy knoll, isn't it? We have the start square. I thought I'd come in from behind, do a big reveal of the start square. There it is. Yeah, pretty nice. And of course, somewhere in the start square, as always, we have the asset of the day. And today's one surprised me, because I really like this festival. Not that I'm surprised that I like it, because this is China Inbox Fast Food RICO by Luminou. Apparently it's a Brazilian fast food outlet. I've seen like these Chinese Air China in a box style takeaways in the UK as well. Obviously different brand names and stuff. Very neat indeed. But Luminou's better known for their high-tech, high-story, jazzy, shiny skyscrapers. And this is just like a dirty little greasy spoon, isn't it? I mean, I love it. I'm just surprised it was Luminou. And yeah, just keep them coming, Luminou. Factoids while we're here. Factoids because factoids. In the 2 years after the first talkie appeared, American cinemas attracted over 100 million people a week. That's a lot of people. Was that a third of... Mind you, there was nothing else, was there? There was no TV, radio, no TV, bit of big band. Of course we're going to like people on the internet now. China Inbox Fast Food RICO by Luminou. Today's asset of the day. I really like that. Doesn't have to be a Brazilian build, does it? Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think it ticks all the boxes. We've got a really good theme. I think there's going to be a lot of users of this theme on tropical maps. So yes, a really nice theme, really nice layout, great shapes of the hills and the mountains, plenty of good stuff going on. Yes, I'm not the hugest fan of the way that the forests just stop dead, like it's just a little bit of blending here and there, but all told, still for me, 4 stars, lowish end. Detailing, nothing to moan about. Really, nothing to moan about. Could there be more done to make it more exciting? Yes, there could. Doesn't really need it, but it could have more. I'm going to go 4 stars again. I'm going to go medium low for, again, just a bit higher than the aesthetics. Gameplay, this is what the map should have been. And for that, I'm very happy to go right down the middle on 4 stars, slap bang middle 4. Very, very, very nice indeed. Garden Rivers remastered by Sandite Spartan 117. Really glad to see them come back, and I have no qualms at all in giving it the seal of approval. That one is a very nice remaster. I will say that most of their remasters are very good. Go and have a look at their lists. Check out the reviews, of course, but go and check out their list. Have a look through. They're all better than the original maps, and some of them are pretty exceptional, all things considered. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day into the comments to score some population points just for fun. I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Plenty of exciting things coming soon as well, but that's for another day. See you soon, and have a great day.